All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are live for another episode of the North Carolina Tar Heels podcast. I am one of your hosts with the most, McRae, Tornado McRae. Y'all know how I get down. And, sir, introduce yourself to the good people.
It's me, your boy, Ricebox26, also aka Joel Rice. You already know. It's me. We here talking about football. And we about it. See, background unchanged up on it. I'm with it. I'm new on this.
He ain't new to this. He ain't true to
back.
this. He don't care about none of it. He don't care about me. He don't care about
Remember,
anything.
we're coming at you live every Tuesday.
At 9
Tonight,
p.m. Eastern. We were a little late tonight, but just had to handle some.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry we're a little late. I had to have
we were a couple minutes late, but it's okay. It's okay.
It's all right though.
Because we got a number of things to talk about. Ricebox, Joel. I think we got a plethora of things to talk about today. And
that we do.
I'm excited. First things first, we gotta put on everything. North Carolina got some new commits coming in, dog.
They do.
North Carolina got some new commits coming in. For those of you who have not heard, for one, 4-star DB from Jackson Academy in Jackson, Mississippi, Omari Johnson just committed this past week to play for the University of Chapel. To play for Chapel Hill. I want to say he is the class of 2026. Am I correct?
He is the class of 2026. Yes.
All right. Cool.
And tell you the truth, going back and looking at my notes from last week, we did mention another guy that's on the list, KJ Miles, who just also recently committed. He's a 3-star wide receiver out of Georgia. So when I first brought him up to you, I definitely thought he was coming in as a quarterback because that's how the article that I read was labeled. That he was a quarterback. I was mistaken. He is a receiver. So
I was about to say he's coming as a receiver, and what I saw him put up in the Georgia State Championship game and just some of his highlights, kid's nice at the receiver position. Kid is real nice at the receiver spot. So I thoroughly enjoyed watching him out of George Washington Carver in Columbus, Georgia. He did a great job out there, and good to see him commit. I wonder what do you think probably drove him to commit here? Because I heard he had a few other offers, including potentially Georgia themselves.
What I would think one is coming down to the coaching staff. You already have a lot of NFL caliber players that have come in now, or NFL caliber coaches that are on that staff now. So I think that really does help out when it comes down to that situation. And on top of that, there's a lot of guys who would love to play for Bill Belichick. And I'm pretty sure, and I don't doubt Bill, the pitch and the sale was immaculate. I don't doubt that was happening because at the end of the day, like I said, the dude. You had to sell NFL players. You had to sell the NFL players. You had to sell the guy that you're having to sign for millions of dollars at a time, sometimes tens of millions, to keep them there, or to convince them that they got to go.
Yeah. So I can agree with that. I think for me, looking at, like you said, it's being Bill Belichick, it's being the coaching staff going to North Carolina. The culture is changing now. So because the culture is changing, you're looking at this place is something new, something exciting. This could be the place where I really develop, and I can be the first one to say, hey, yo, I was a part of Bill Belichick's first couple classes coming in that changed North Carolina culture, that established the new winning ways of North Carolina. And, a lot of folk love to say they're the first one on the board. I don't care who you are. You love to say you're the first one on the block to do something. You're the first one
definitely
to rock the new shoes. You're the first one to cop the new music. You're the first one to put people on. So,
you want to be that guy, like, yo, what is them? You want to be that guy.
You want to be that guy. And also, I did see they had another receiver commit, Darian Kirksey, out of Harrison Central High from Gulfport, Mississippi. I saw he also committed to North Carolina recently. So they seem to be filling in the hole. And I think as it's recruiting season and as things ramp up and as everybody is coming in and figuring out that North Carolina is a new place to go to, it's becoming a hot commodity. Chapel Hill is trying to go from being just a basketball school, because that's been their mantra for years. We know this. Chapel Hill, yes, you've had great talents come out of Chapel Hill, but Chapel Hill's never been looked upon as a football school.
And they might, and with how it's going, it's gonna happen. And then let's let's go ahead, since we're still focusing on the 2026 class. One right now, according to 24/7 Sports, North Carolina has the 20th overall ranked recruiting class for 2026. They're at 31 right now for 2025. So for 2025, they already have, because let's see, they have 18 players that have signed letters of intent.
Mm-hmm.
That's 18 in. Then you had 19 transfers come in
Yeah.
on top of the 11 that you signed.
We did speak about that last week.
And then for this one, they already have 11 hard commits for 2026.
Mm. Like they already got, so they've already said, yeah, we in there.
They have one 4-star in Trayshawn Ruffin, defensive
Yeah.
lineman out of Mount Olive, North Carolina.
We did speak about him.
And out of the other, and then there's 10 other 3-stars. We got Amari Johnson from Jackson, Mississippi, Anthony Hall from Brookline, Massachusetts. You got Jaden Jefferson, who's an athlete out of Concord, California. So we're about to find out what he's going to do. You got Marcellus Ryan, from Gardenia, California, who's a cornerback.
With these early 3-stars and 4-stars, do you think that sets the precedent for more 4-stars and potentially 5-stars to want to come in by the time it's really like, hey, yo, you got a full hard commit in 2026, like final days and whatnot?
I think so. I think it's going to change a lot of the dynamic that's going to come in, especially for North Carolina as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your turn this time, bud.
Oh, no. Oh, no, not the little ones, man.
So we might get you one of these days. Today ain't it.
But I honestly think that, yeah, Bill is pulling in like a lot of 3-stars and some 4-stars. It's not going to be long before he pulls in his first 5-star. And once he gets his first one,
no.
That's going to open the floodgates. And now, because like you said, there are top 20 recruiting class for 26. They're 31 for class of 25, and they're 20th for class of 2026. You're already in the top 20 to 25 competing with Bama, LSU, Clemson, Ohio State, Michigan, and them boys. Like, you're already starting to bridge and break through that threshold, especially with it being the ACC.
Exactly. And here's the thing, and this with the current class they have now, they have 2 4-stars that have committed for the class they got now for 2025. And then they also have another 4-star that signed a letter of intent in Autori Newkirk.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been able to look at his film yet, but from the way they talk about Newkirk,
he sounds like he one of them ones.
Bryce Baker might have some competition.
Hey, hold up now. Hold up.
From the way,
wrong button.
I don't think that's the right sound effect for this.
It was not the right sound effect.
It was supposed to be this
one. It was supposed to be that one.
Too late.
Nope.
Too late.
You're not going to talk about my dog Bryce like that. Bryce, no.
And I'm not talking down on Bryce. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm not allowing that to happen. But it's gonna be nice.
Not what I'm saying.
It's gonna be fun to see, and it's gonna be a beautiful thing to see because they're gonna come on campus and they're gonna flourish. But speaking of arriving on campus, right?
Mm.
I don't know if you had the chance to see. I don't know if you saw. However, we had a few celebrity arrivals appear on campus this past weekend in Chapel Hill. We had a few celebrity arrivals, and first one, let me see if I can pull him up here, because he was so gracious, added to the stage. As you can see, our boy Drake May made his return to look at us. Like, look at Drake. Look, he didn't get the chance to be with Bill in New England, but he gets to stand beside Bill right here. What what you think about that? Why you think Drake May came back?
I mean, why not? You got a new coach. You got it like you got your old team. You want to come out and be like, yo, just cause Mac ain't here, and sure I was with Mac, but seeing like growing up and seeing this dude do what he did as a coach, I mean, you gotta trust the process with this one.
I I
Man's a
thought it was.
six-time Super Bowl champion. Like he 6-time Super Bowl winning coach. It is what it is.
I think Drake May was just trying to get his own photo op since he didn't get the New England photo op with Bill. He was like, "Yeah, I'm probably gonna go play for Bill Belichick. I'd love to play for Bill Belichick in the league." Bill dips before Drake even shows up, so he's like, "Let me go back home." Since he went to, let me just go back home and get this photo op real quick. And I do love it though. It's cool to see. It's nice that he's able to stand side by side with Super Bowl champion, but also the biggest surprise that I don't think any of us, including myself, saw happening this weekend was this photo right here.
Hey, listen, the fireman came to
Listen,
heal.
bro. What was your first thought when I told you and I was like, "Hey, yo, guess who pulled up on campus for the Tar Heels?" Wait, what?
It's like, bro,
Was that you?
yeah, no, I done took over your stuff. I'm sorry.
Oh wow, you what the?
I took over your stuff.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I didn't think it was gonna change it like that. That's my fault. I thought it was gonna be off on the side, waiting for me to go up or do whatever I needed to do.
Nah, you just put it in right there. But okay.
Yeah, it just was like, yeah, nah, we're gonna go ahead and do this.
But
I wouldn't
why
have
do you
done
think Lil Wayne was there? How did he get here? I think Bill organized this, but why? And I got another question after that because if we got Lil Wayne and Bill Belichick, when do we get the Bill Belichick Michael Jordan UNC photo? When does that happen?
We don't.
What?
And when we
What?
don't.
Hold up.
Right? We won't during preseason. We won't during this off season. We will.
No?
We will. We won't during the off season. Nah.
Mm.
We're not gonna see it during the off season. The reason why I say we're not gonna see it during the off season, because what Jordan's gonna want. What Jordan's gonna want, because we know Jordan's gonna be picky, because he's like, listen, I provide all y'all's equipment. All that swag y'all got on, they come from my brand, right? What you gonna see is Jordan gonna get the photo after like the first, either like the first win in the season or the first conference win in the season. So or third option after win number 4.
Why 4?
Because one, they're weird like that, and two, competitiveness. And like, I'm gonna wait till I see a legitimate investment in this squad.
I would say this: if you're gonna do that, I would say if he was gonna do that, it would be after win number 6, like they get their 7th win because last year they finished 6 and 7.
It's gonna be win number 4. Watch it.
Why 4 though? That makes no sense.
It's gonna be
that makes no sense.
Of course, it doesn't make sense. When's the last time Jordan made sense?
98.
But I said, go ahead and press
Listen, I mean, he got a NASCAR team and they've been doing great. They've actually been doing real good.
Go ahead and press that Sonic win button.
Nah.
Go ahead. Nah, you know,
I'm not doing that. No,
I got you with that.
No. He made a great NASCAR team. They're really good.
Okay.
So that made sense.
We're not talking about NASCAR. We're talking about football.
But overall,
like I understand you try to cover it, but nah, we're talking about football right now.
Overall, I look at this and I genuinely think UNC is going to have the potential to end up being like Southern Cal was at one point in the mid 2000s. If you have a Lil Wayne pulling up, who's to say now you're going to have other athletes, other stars start pulling up? Granted, Bill Belichick, very different than Pete Carroll. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be on a limited basis of who he allows in and out.
You may see celebrity-wise, you may see maybe 4 or 5 celebrities at most come through there during the season.
Now, I think you will see a lot more former athletes and former pros there than you
Oh yeah,
did at
yeah,
Southern
you
Cal.
definitely see former athletes and former pros come through, especially ones that he coached. If he had
Hmm.
any kind of involvement with them, there's more than likely a chance that he's going to bring them through, especially if they were successful and they have a good rapport with each other. Because
Fact.
didn't he have he had one of his guys come through
Yeah,
too. What was
yeah.
Mankovic?
Rob Minkovich. Rob
Yeah,
Ninkovich.
Mankovic came through. So no, like he's going to have a couple of guys come through. Some people might even volunteer. Because I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised if even Gerard Mayo comes through. I wouldn't be
I was just,
surprised.
you want to know what's crazy? I was literally thinking Gerard Mayo would come through.
I wouldn't even be
Like
surprised if Gerard Mayo comes through. I wouldn't be surprised if even Mike Vrabel might come through.
Mike Vrabel. I could see like if he wants
I could see
QB help, he might go get like a Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby might come. I could see Amendola coming through. I could
If
see
if he can convince him, Ty Law would come through as a DB
Tyler
coach.
probably would. I know what's his name? What's the name? McCourty?
Oh yeah, Devin McCourty, the McCourty boys.
Devin McCourty. Yeah,
Yeah,
the McCourty twins would probably come
yeah.
through if they're not busy official commentating.
You think Janet was it? It was Vinatieri at one point, and then it wasn't
Oh,
Janikowski. It was the other kicker.
I know who you're talking about too.
The
Not
other
Janet
kicker.
Kowski, but Steve something.
Yeah, I think they would
Yeah, I
come
know.
through. I think they would come through for special teams.
Wes Welker probably even come through.
Wes Welker would be kind of funny. Him and Julian. Julian would be really funny to see come through.
You know what's funny? I was trying to say Julian Edelman in my head for like the last couple of minutes. And every time Edelman came in my head, I kept saying Amendola. And I'm like, that's not who I'm talking about.
But overall,
I kept saying it.
I feel as though Bill bringing in these celebrities, like you said, he's going to bring in a few celebrities just to kind of be like, hey, guys, I'm hip. I'm cool.
We're the same.
we're the same. He's gonna bring it in like, hey, fellow kids, I'm one of you. And you're just gonna look at Bill like.
And you know what's bad? And you know what's funny? I don't see Bill doing that. I do see Fred Kitchens doing that.
Hey, throwing up backwards hat, skateboard, and everything. I'm one
Bill's
of y'all.
Bill's in the corner. Go change. Right now.
Here's the crazy part about it.
Because he's not going to know they're doing it. They're going to have to set this up without his knowledge.
You can't let Bill know this. And
because Bill's going to look at you. Are you an idiot? Are you idiots? This is serious. We're doing a job here.
We're serious. We're on the job. What are you?
We're on
doing?
the job right now. And you're out here cutting up, talking about I'm one of you. No, you're not.
No, you're not. You're 56.
You are 55 years old.
You're 56.
You're 56.
Get it together, Freddie.
That one over there, he's 12. He's 19 at best. And you say you're not one of them. You ain't been one of them in 40 years.
He's like, he's 19 at best. Why are you pointing at Steve? Oh yeah, that is my son. He's 19 at best.
He's 32. He's close. He's closer to being one of them than you have been in a long time.
But
and we're gonna talk about wildness, right? We're gonna talk about some wild stuff, right?
Do you think I know in the article that was talking about it, they said, "Oh, this is a bucket list moment for us." You think his girlfriend convinced him to bring Lil Wayne there?
I wouldn't doubt it, but then again, like. I feel like she probably just barely knows who Lil Wayne is.
Because she's younger than us.
She's younger than us. Like I feel like she's on that cusp where like she knows she came in just as the hype as the peak was
right
dropping.
As it went down.
Right as the peak was starting.
She started learning about Lil Wayne like 2014.
Right.
That's what she started learning. But overall, I think it's hilarious. But like you said, speaking of craziness and speaking of wildness, and it is kind of, oh, you want to talk about the yard sale?
You want to talk about the yard sale real quick?
Because here's the banner I had for it. And you know what? I'm with you on it because I actually have it pulled up.
I mean, like I said, the AstroTurf sales are out of this world. So apparently, come across an article where the AstroTurf for Keenan Stadium was actually for sale. Like they actually had it's the 12 pieces. 12 pieces, as you can see here, for sale of the entire center logo of midfield. And it was and the current bid at the time was $500. I went and looked. I tried to look this up on Facebook. I did not remember who the guy was. I should have looked up the seller first before I did. Just went straight there. But if you can find it and it's still on sale, you could be one lucky individual that could own his own piece of North Carolina history and walk on it and it not be disrespectful. You could put this.
I ain't gonna lie, the guy at the bottom.
This is going for all the husbands out there. You could put this
in the man cave, dog.
Hold on, in the backyard or the front yard to your wife's disgruntlement, because she's gonna argue this. She's gonna look at you and tell you, why are you wasting our money on this? And you're gonna look at her like, I don't think you understand how important this is. I don't think you see the opportunities that I'm about to bestow upon this family. AKA, I'm about to buy this.
Oh,
and she's going to ask you, where in the world are you going to put it? And you're going to tell her, wherever the hell I want. That's what you're going to tell her. And then what she's going to do as soon as it gets to your house and you find out you don't have 40 yards worth of yard to put this in, it's going to sit in the garage. And she's going to
be not 40 yards worth of yard.
Because in the college feel like 40 yards across. 40 yards worth of a yard.
Listen, you got 40 yards worth of yard, and when you realize you ain't got 40 yards worth of yard, in the attic, in the crawl space.
Matter of fact, you live in an apartment complex. You don't have a yard to begin with, so you're putting this somewhere in that house, in that 2-bedroom apartment that y'all barely been affording, but you spent that rent money on this. She's gonna look at you mad for a while. But you know what? You're gonna be proud of. But you know what you're gonna say to that?
I got Keenan Allen. I got Keenan Stadium turf
field. Every time you bring your homeboys over, the first thing you show them is this AstroTurf right here. You know what? Sure, all these people out here making money all these ways, but you know what? You're spending yours to be a fan.
Hey, you know what's gonna keep me warm at night? This turf.
That's right. This AstroTurf. Oh, I was so glad. I was so glad I was able to do that.
Oh my God! You know what's gonna keep me warm at night? This AstroTurf.
That AstroTurf.
So I have to ask the question, and it comes to my head: who greenlights that sale? Like, how does that happen? Who gets?
My thing is,
who completes?
I think an employee snuck pieces out over time as they were doing the construction. It was like, you know what? Nobody's gonna miss it,
bro. Because then not only that, let's be honest. That is 40 yards worth of yard, right? That is the entire center logo, 12 pieces.
Oh, and that's just from the bottom to the top. That's about 30 yards wide of a logo.
You're getting all that, and I'm gonna be real, for only $500
at the time.
I'm saying though, for $500, I get the entire center logo.
I have the official center logo of the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Listen, husbands, boyfriends, significant others out there, you in the football. I'm gonna tell you this right now, because I have this rule: once a year, I am allowed to splurge on something stupid for myself. That is my rule. I do it every year. I will make a dumb purchase that makes my inner child happy. This could be your one dumb purchase that makes your inner child happy.
That is your one dumb one. That is your one dummy purchase.
Like,
get there.
Like I make sure, like, me and my girl, we get one purchase per year where we can't question it. You know what I mean? Like, listen, that's your dummy purchase for the year. That's your dummy purchase for the year. So I think
anytime the tax refunds come through.
I mean, I feel like that's a lot of people.
I get my one dummy purchase anytime the tax refunds come back, because I can do whatever I want with it.
So I got,
as long as the bills are paid.
So how often do you think sales like this happen though?
Not often enough, in my opinion. Because I ain't gonna lie, when I first saw the article and it said turf for sale with logo, I 100% thought it was just going to be like a small section, like the little corner down here,
Yeah.
or like
I thought it was going to be pieces. I'll be honest.
Or you got
I
like
thought
a
it was
piece
like
of like
one piece.
Yeah, or like you got a piece of like the A from the end zone or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's selling for 500. I'm like, okay, you know what? That's a ripoff. But you get the whole logo for that's 12 pieces of AstroTurf. Right.
That's all. Listen, man.
Right.
12 pieces of
So-
AstroTurf for the entire thing. And I have to ask you this thing. I have to ask you this. With all that being and seeing that they're selling AstroTurf logos, what UNC niche item would you buy from the stadium? What's a niche random item if they allowed you to buy it for a decent price, 500 or less? Would you buy?
From the if I it was in the stadium, it was in the concession stand,
it was in the stadium, and they allowed you to buy it.
One of the chairs from the locker room.
Ooh.
Like one of the seats.
That's a good one. Oh, okay.
Because have you seen them locker rooms?
Okay. Hey, that's actually a good one. I can't even front. That's a nice. Now you got me.
That's what I'm saying.
Sitting there thinking about that. Now I got to reevaluate what I was thinking of. You know what? Along the lines of the logo, I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I don't know where I could fit it. But if it's $500 or less, I'm buying the Jumbotron. If it's $500 or less, I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I don't know where I can fit it. But it's gonna just sit there in my backyard that I don't have of my apartment complex, and I see it on the third story across the way. I mean, think about it. Think about it. If I ever want to have a movie night, I'm having the greatest movie night in the community. Imagine Star Wars on that. I'm having a field day.
But, I mean, listen.
You talk about like logically IMAX quality. Yes,
IMAX quality.
Yes, yes, to the fullest. To the fullest.
Yeah, because like you probably weren't even thinking about the locker rooms. You were thinking about everything.
Oh, else. Listen, I wasn't. I'll give you that. You said locker room. I said, ooh.
I was like, I remember recently seeing LSU's locker room, and I'm like,
nah, LSU and Clemson's locker rooms, and Georgia's too. I think Georgia's
Auburn's, Georgia's.
Bro, they put.
I don't even know what Bama's look like, but I can only imagine what Bama's look like. With all that money that came through there, Bama and Ohio State.
Think about it. Here's the other thing. Think about it. Bama ain't got no pro team. So you know that's where all the top money is.
All that money going to college.
All it goes there.
All of it.
So you know them seats are nice.
And speaking of money.
Speaking of money, hold up. There it is. We out here. UNC. Y'all spending some big bills, bro. Let's call it for what it is. Let's call it for what it is. Because I did the breakdown of the article we read today, bro. I did the breakdown, right? Read the article, crunched the numbers. So amongst Bill Belichick and his entire staff, and I reread the article and they got the numbers wrong after I added up everything they put in there. Yeah, we pocket watching. Y'all saw the title. Bill Belichick and the North Carolina Tar Heels, their total salary for this year for their coaching staff, $16.7 million. The article that we read for some reason said 16.3, but I added up all the numbers they had in that article, came out to 16.77 million, right?
Yeah.
Here's the breakdown for you. Bill Belichick's at 10 million. Steve Belichick, 1.3 mil. Freddie Kitchens, 1.15 mil. Then you got Will Friend, 750,000. Matt Lombardi, 600,000. Bob Diaco, the D-line coach, 575,000. Garrick McGee, the wide receiver coach, 525,000. Brian Belichick, 500,000. Mike Pfeiffer, special teams coach, 400,000. Natrone Means, the running backs coach, 357,000. He had the oddest number in here. Armand Hawkins, cornerback coach, 275,000. Billy Miller, the special teams assistant coach, at 190,000. And then Jamie Collins, the inside linebackers coach, at 150,000. Now, I have to ask you this question. Who was overpaid? Who was underpaid? Because
I think Friend was underpaid.
You think Friend was underpaid at 750?
I think Friend was underpaid. I thought he was going to be a part of that $1 million group.
Mm-hmm.
I think Freddie Kitchens is. I don't think. You know what? I'm not even going to say that. I don't think he's overpaid. And if I did say that, I'll say just barely, not by a whole lot. So I'm not really. I'm not going to say that he's overpaid or underpaid. We'll have to see what it looks like when the season rolls around. If the offense looks good, if the offense looks real good, then I'm gonna say he was underpaid. But let's see. I would say, yeah, I really think it's just Means and the Lombardi son, Matt Lombardi.
Okay,
I think he's a little underpaid based off of his career and what he's put out product wise when it comes down to quarterbacks. I think he's a little underpaid.
I'm gonna say this respectfully. Billy Miller, special teams assistant, being paid more than Jamie Collins, the inside linebackers coach. That's crazy to me.
Well, I really like. I think because Jamie Collins doesn't have an extensive of a coaching career though.
To me, it's the premise of where you're at. Special teams assistant versus inside linebacker coach. Like they don't have an outside linebackers coach.
That's fair.
It is just an inside.
When you get the level from like assistant to actual coach, I get that.
Yeah. So to me, now had they been paid the same, I wouldn't have been upset. But to look over and say the special teams assistant is paid more than me as the inside linebackers coach, I think that's wild. I think that's a little crazy. And then I'll agree. I think Matt Lombardi should have got a little bit more money. I think he's a little bit underpaid.
That's just based off track record. I think based off track record, I think he should have got a little bit more. But I think what other thing is like they were underpaying, or they paid the newer staff less. So like returning staff outside of Bill Belichick was getting paid higher because they did say they got. I think they got like 15% more than everybody else at least, or got a 15% increase,
which is retention and things like that. So I can concede to that, and I can understand that.
Because I would rather, like I said, outside of my head coach, I would rather pay a new new member of my coaching staff less. Mm-hmm. And if he's bad, then I didn't feel like I spent a whole lot on him. But if he does turn out to be good, then I was like, okay, then we can just increase the pay. Yeah, then we got him for a steal, or then we could talk about at the end of the season, we just increase his pay. That's about, you know what, based off performance, boom, here's your bonuses, here's your increase, here's what you get. Because you proved to us that this is what we can do.
That's fair. And like I said, to me, it was just, it's kind of crazy. And the fact that North Carolina shelled out this money and it was just like, hey, yo, 16 mil, bam, on coaching staff, we got it. It's like, first of all, not even going to hold you. Where y'all been keeping that money? Because Bill alone is making double what Mac Brown was making.
Oh, yeah. And so, to be honest.
And I'm not saying Bill's not worth it. It's just the question of where did y'all get the funds? You see what I'm saying?
Oh, they got the funds once they cut Mac Brown.
Yeah, fair.
Because that's $5 million off the board. That's insurance you ain't paying.
Wow.
That's stipends you ain't paying.
This man said that's insurance you ain't paying. That's
insurance you pay. Stipends you ain't paying. That's 401k you ain't paying.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm just saying. I'm just
That's
saying, like when you get like, do you? Because think about it, once you get removed from a job, they stop paying your 401, don't it? That's what I'm saying. And if I got a match, exactly. And if I got a match, $5 million in a 401k.
oh, hold up. If you got to match that,
Exactly.
then
Like I'm not matching for like that. If I got to match your salary and your 401, no, if I can get rid of that, I will.
oh,
Because like think about it.
oh
With Bills,
man.
then you probably negotiated. Listen, you here? We'll pay you 10 mil. However, we're not giving you a 401. He's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, I
I'm here
mean,
for the fun. I'm here
I
for the
mean,
giggles.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Exactly. I'm here for the giggles and the cake party. I ain't here for all the bells and whistles.
The giggles in the keg party is crazy. But
Giggles and
overall, I mean, when you got money like that, bump it. You can have as many giggles and keg parties as you want. But I just think that's kind of crazy. I just think it's real interesting to be honest. But speaking of somebody who who has attended North Carolina keg parties, I'm sure. We have to talk about North Carolina's highest prospect in this year's draft, one Sir Omarion Hampton, right? And we
oh
got to
yeah,
talk about his draft stock, bro, because experts have him first going in the first round, which is great. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him because think about it. He played 3 years in North Carolina. The man put up 1,500 in 2023, 1,600 in 2024, 15 touchdowns each season as a running back, especially in today's pass heavy game. He deserves to be first round material. Now, right now, according to Mel Kiper's big board that I saw today, they have him going 12th overall to the Cowboys. And I ain't gonna lie. For Hampton's sake, I don't want you to go to Dallas.
I don't because
I,
like for some reason
for that manager, for the
Dallas just
way
doesn't treat the running backs right.
they don't, they
They
don't
just
like. I would love if he, for his career and his development, I would love for him to either be taken higher than the 12th pick with Dallas, or I want Dallas to pass on him and he falls somewhere else. Because for some reason, Dallas does not know how to treat their running backs, and I would hate for him to go there and get misused and disregarded like he's not worth the money he puts up.
that part.
So
That part.
it's like, with that being said, if he falls or if he goes up, who do you think is his best spot to go to?
For a running back,
Mm-hmm.
ooh. And the funny thing is, I'm looking at a mock draft right now. So mock draft I'm looking at. Let's see whose this one is. This one. So this is Ryan Wilson's mock draft, right? He
Mm-hmm.
has Amarian Hampton going second round to the Raiders.
Mm.
Personally, I don't think the Raiders is a good fit.
Mm.
Personally, but then again, they haven't. The Raiders just haven't picked great running backs the last couple of seasons. As much as I wanted to get behind Zamir White, because Zamir, like, Georgia product, good, like solid runner, strong runner.
Yeah.
I think they haven't gotten the potential they thought they were going to get out of him. I don't think they got the runner they thought they were going to get out of him. I can't fully blame him because the offensive line, rushing wise, isn't great.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like you really haven't got like because Alexander Madison didn't get nothing great out of there. Zamir White didn't get nothing great out of there. Josh Jacobs just had to be that guy
Josh
for a
Jacobs was
long
that
time.
guy though. I when he was
Josh
there,
Jacobs
he was
had to
that
be
guy.
that guy. So there was really nothing better for him to do than just be that guy. And then when he had that one slump year, it ended up putting him on the trade block. Now he's in Green Bay doing the same thing in Green Bay he was doing in Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
So like nothing really changed there. If I would say The best spot for him, I would say, would be Houston. Ugh. Houston, Seattle. They don't need another running back going to Miami because Miami has ran through running backs at this point in
Okay,
life.
so you say Houston, Seattle.
San Francisco would be another good spot.
Mm, I wouldn't like him in San Francisco
I
because
mean,
right now
they already got rid of the last two guys they got.
no,
Both
but
of them
I'm
gone.
saying this. I'm saying this, and here's the reason why I don't want him to go to San Francisco.
Mm,
They have shown that their medical staff doesn't know how to treat their players because
fair.
so many of their players have been so injury prone over the last few years, from Christian to Debo to Kittle to Purdy to Mason. Like, bro, everybody and their
Fair.
mama be getting hurt over there, so I wouldn't want that for them.
That's
Now,
fair.
I'll say this, and in Mel Kiper's draft, the next running back isn't taken until the 41st pick by the Bears, right? Like
Right.
he has the Bears taking him. Rem- I I spoke about this earlier because there's talks of there were talks early that Tyler Warren may have gone to the Panthers, but those talks changed, and now Tyler Warren's going to the Bears. I think, and this is also as a Panthers fan, if the Bears switch that up and go get Omarion Hampton before the Cowboys with the 10th overall pick,
Mm,
then Tyler Warren somehow falls to the second round, that opens up the door for the Panthers to trade up and get Tyler Warren from that 57 to that 41st, 42nd pick. But it also gets Omarion Hampton in a better situation. Do I think Chicago is the greatest situation? No. But overall, I think it's better than Dallas. I think it's safety wise and just treatment medical wise, I think it's better than San Francisco. Now, if I had an ideal team that he could really thrive in
mm.
and he could really do his thing, one, I think he would be phenomenal. And I don't know off the top of my head what their running back situation is, but Buffalo would be a good spot for him, I think.
Uh, they're pretty locked in running back wise because they still got James Cook,
Okay, so they
who's
do.
they
I
still
didn't
got
know.
James cooking.
Okay, if
Not
they
even trying
still.
to be funny on it, but and then they got Johnson behind him who's been solid. And I think they still have Frank Gore Jr. over there too.
Okay, then nah. Then take
They're still
Buffalo
good.
out.
So another team that I should have thought of but didn't because the previous one I saw had Ashton Genty going to them is
Mm.
Denver.
Denver could work. Denver
I think
could definitely.
Denver will probably be the perfect spot because Javante Williams is no longer there. He's in Dallas now.
Actually, I got another one off the top of my head. If because they took a receiver last year, a
Mhm.
young receiver, and he's a sophomore, if they're really trying to rebuild the core and then they end up getting rid of their vet QB, Arizona.
Yeah, I thought of Arizona
And
too.
if that's the one like because you got Marvin Harrison Jr., you take Omarion Hampton, Kyler Murray. Listen, bro, I respect you, love you, but not gonna lie, your days are getting numbered out in Arizona. Like your days are getting numbered out there. So because of that, it makes sense to draft Omarion Hampton and then just be like, all right, we're gonna give this a shot one more time and then blow it up. But at least then Omarion Hampton's paired with Marvin Harrison Jr. and that's a great 1-2 punch to have for your running game and your passing game, in my opinion.
Yeah,
In my opinion,
See what Bucky Brooks is saying.
what Bucky say about him?
So Bucky, got Ashton Genty going to the Raiders. A
Yeah,
lot of people have Ashton Genty going to the Raiders. He
yeah.
also has Amari Hampton going number 10 to the Bears.
Oh, so like I
I
said,
Yeah, I don't think the Bears is the bad option, especially with all the offensive linemen they've added. Because especially with adding Drew Dahlman
yeah.
and me, like I say, me being a Falcons fan, Drew Dahlman actually is one of the higher rated run blocking centers in the league.
So it would make sense. Like I
Like
said,
pass wise, he's a little iffy, but run blocking wise, he's solid.
plus if you were really behind your quarterback, Caleb,
Mm.
if you're really behind,
Yeah,
if they're really behind him the way they are, giving him a great runner in Omarion Hampton helps solidify that. It
it
takes the
really does
pressure off him.
because one, like I'm not gonna say Swift had a terrible season, but DeAndre Swift hasn't looked
He's
like
not the
people
old
thought he
DeAndre
would.
Swift. He's not the old
He's not Detroit Lions DeAndre Swift.
right.
And that has been honestly the most annoying thing that I've seen in a while. But
It's
it's
the
not
truth.
exactly it's not exactly his. It's not entirely his fault. But there's a lot of stuff that he could have done better, especially in the other two teams, especially in Chicago.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, like the line you have is terrible. Not even gonna sugarcoat it. The line was awful. O line was the biggest liability on
But
that
back
team.
to
And it has been for the
Omarion,
last several
he
years.
he would thrive in Chicago.
I think he would, especially with him being able to receive out of the backfield like he does, being the downhill runner that he is, and being even for downhill, the fact that he can get from stop to start as quick as he does is a major bonus for him by itself.
The only
Because
question I have
that's
with
an
him,
easy dump. That's an easy like quick dump situation for
mhm,
Caleb. That's a great safety valve for him, especially for a receiver that can move like he moves.
the only thing I would have is just injury wise, because he may potentially be used a lot, so high usage. How
Yeah,
might he be injured or not? And then we know Soldier Field ain't great.
it ain't.
Soldier Field is
It needs some upgrades
horrible.
for sure.
So, Omarion, I'd love to see you go anywhere but Dallas, bro. Any, anywhere but Dallas.
Anywhere but Dallas.
Anywhere but Dallas. I think you'll be better off. I genuinely think you'll be better off anywhere but
I
Dallas.
think yeah, because especially as long as you're with a team that is willing to use a running back, heck, even seeing them to Cincinnati, because Cincinnati needs a starting running back.
You know what? That could work. Even though their
Cincinnati,
line is like, but Omarion going to Cincinnati would be a great addition for them,
oh yeah,
especially because it's a cheap option to complement Joe Burrow.
oh yeah,
But
definitely. But
but
him, Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow,
it'd be nice, man.
like yeah, that specialties groups would be monsters.
But speaking of talented individuals, I want to show something. So we were talking about the other day. This gentleman, he was mic'd up for practice, and I love to see it. And we just go watch real quick and see the atmosphere that they got going on. So for those of y'all who don't know, this is Amari Campbell. And like let's look at this.
Watch out, bro. The camera's right here.
Oh yeah, there we go. Come on, little bro. Lock in.
I'm locked in, baby. Come on.
Mm,
Like that. Listen, that got me hyped by itself. I'm like, you got
right.
the boy.
Like, bro, run that.
Don't get scared. Don't get scared.
Like, hey, hold up. I gotta run that back. Look, mind y'all, for context,
That's the kind of hit you want every linebacker to pull off on the lineman.
I'm
Every time.
saying, like, look,
Every time. That's the kind of downhill running that you want to see.
he just flat out says, "I'm gonna meet you in the A gap, even if you
He said, "Get your base right."
get your
Get
base
that-
right and get your weight up, bro." That's what I love to see.
Don't get scared. Don't get scared.
Look at it.
He coming hot too. That was a sack. for
Nice
sure.
pursuit, hands up. And if they throw that, he's there.
Hit it, Ty.
Gets to a spot quick. Yeah, I bet he's
He's
tackling.
the recruit, man. I hosted this young man.
He ain't host me. He in the crib playing 2K.
Get on the double team.
Now he said he in the crib. He in the crib playing. Good pursuit.
I love the pursuit, bro. I love the pursuit. I love it. I love the atmosphere. They also had the other day, they had Jordan Ship mic'd up.
Come on, let's get it. Let's go.
Go.
Damn, Brandon.
Hey,
So, that's one on the day. That's one on the day.
Always.
Make sure you're good.
You good?
Always good. Are you good?
Always.
What we doing today? We staying in cover 2 all day today?
Whatever the players want to do.
They want to play man.
nah, he want man. Hey, as a receiver, I know him. He wants man. He wants man.
He's like, "Cool, if you want to stay in that cover too, cool. I'll punish you then too."
He said he wants man. Like, what are we talking about?
Turn your shoulders like
I'm
this
trying
and
to catch
look
him
back.
with my
You
neck.
lose all your speed, right? You're running, but you're looking back. You're seeing it out of the corner of your eye. You can't turn your whole head back like this, or you're gonna have no speed, right?
Yes, sir.
Look at Bill giving great.
I wish I could have heard the whole thing. Good job of getting to the spot.
I like
And tell you
that.
the truth, and speaking to some other talent, right? You know, we talked about Newkirk earlier. Finally, I actually found some film on him, and it looks. I'm telling you, he looked good.
He looked
The
good.
boy looked good.
Like, let's see.
Coming off play action,
Okay. Oh,
easy ball.
oh, beautiful dime. Beautiful dime. Okay. All right. So what's this next one? Is this in like the state title game or JMU? Said Jay's. All right. Drop back. And he left-handed. I like it. You know,
Good touch.
you know I'm partial to the lefties. You know I'm partial to the lefties.
Because that's good. That's great touch here. Because even he's pointing it out. That's great touch. Because he's in that spot. He's in the way.
Yeah. And he's got that crossing route for the backside that's coming across. So he's got to put that just like you said, just in the
He's gotta
window.
put it in the right spot because it's already in man. So it was man zone just a little bit. It's like a cover 2 zone. Perfect spot.
And then boom, manned up.
Perfect spot.
Yeah, they were in a cover 1, I think.
Look like cover 2.
Only reason I said cover 1 is because dude at the other top was in man as well.
Yeah, the only reason why I thought it was cover 2 is because of where the linebackers were.
Fair. And then I want to see what he does here. All right, boom, drop back,
He's hit this
step
corner
up.
right here. So
Now I gotta go.
look-
I love
Little-
that throw. No, but here's the thing. The reason why I love this throw
did
is
it under
because he
duress.
did it under duress. That's
it
exactly what I was
under
about to say.
So
He
it
did
was
that
still in
un-
a great spot.
He put it in the
spot.
right spot under duress,
Right
and he put it.
over top of this corner between this safety. It's perfect. So there's no better that you could have asked from him on this.
Unless the only thing you can do from there is tell him to step into it like more.
And it was
just
off back
absorb
foot.
it.
He couldn't step into it. He was off back foot too.
But I'm saying the only thing he could have done is step into the hit. But other than that, that's a perfect throw.
And that was another good one. Got straight fake, got straight goes, man up all the way across.
He drops. Oh, he got rid of it quick too. He knew
Gotta be quick.
he had
And
his
then try.
read. He made the right read off rip. He knew what read he wanted. All right, that
'Cause he had both options. He had both receivers open.
yeah, because Newkirk he definitely he has potential. So I can see why you were talking about like Bryce might have something, but even then, Bryce Baker and him together, that's a quarterback class I love. That's a quarterback class that after Max Johnson, you love to have coming in. You know what I mean?
And you'll get some of these plays like this, and of course ads want to come in and talk jump for no reason.
Man, forget the ads. Mm-hmm.
But like you get plays like that where you got, and like I said, and Bryce had a few of these in the tape that I saw of him, where it's just bad coverage, and you just took advantage because this is bad coverage because he's supposed to been back here.
Yeah.
Like, this guy here is supposed to be here, and he's
mean,
actually supposed to be here more. He's supposed to be more towards the middle. It's not entirely.
Take what the defense gives you, though. That's what you got to do.
Don't get me wrong, because he's the hot read.
Right.
He is 100% the hot read because he's coming. Both like he's coming in, he's coming out to the flat here, he's dropping back in this little quarter here, and he's dropping back center. So this is your hot read for sure. And he made the right read.
Yep.
Because it's a perfect read because there's nobody there. He's covered up here, he's blanketed down here.
That other safety, I don't know what he doing. Not him, not the one off screen, but that one that was to the
right
top
here?
hash. Yeah, I don't know what he was.
Because he's supposed to have been in the middle. This is cover 3.
Is it? I think that's cover one because the reason why I say that, top of the screen, top receiver is manned up. Bottom receiver,
It's probably 31.
if anything, it's a cover two that's shelling to the top.
It's like I said,
Let's go to the top.
it's either probably 21 or 31 coverage. Because you got a blitzer, because he's blitzing.
Oh,
This
yeah,
guy
he's
right here-
blitzing straight up. So it's either 3 or 1. No, it's either 3 or it's a 2
you
with
got
man on the
so you got
backside.
him blitzing, so you got a 5-man line straight across. He's dropping. I don't know what he's doing really, because he doesn't have a spot to be in anymore. So it's a 3.
With a man.
It's a shell 3 with man coverage on the 1. So it's 3 on this side. It's a 3 shell. So you got 3 here because
Okay.
he's like I said, because he's supposed to be here in the middle, and you can tell that's where he's supposed to be because nobody else is here.
He was waiting. Oh, I see what he did. Yeah, you're right because he was waiting. Because here's what happened. He was waiting on the guy. He was waiting on his man to be on his side of the field. He ain't anticipated coming from the backside where that hot read was.
He was expecting this because this is his guy here. He's expecting him to be over here somewhere.
Yeah, he thought he was supposed to be on there, but he ain't.
They probably were in film somewhere, saw this in film, and what he does in film is probably has this little shallow cross coming through here, and he dropped back, thinking that that's where this is going because they've seen this set up a couple of times.
And bro said, "No, just run up the seam."
It happens, but what he saw, but he probably called it too. That he saw dude coming to blitz, and easy little post, quick little straight fade right up in here, straight little street.
Man, it's beautiful. But I got one thing I also want to show you because Dukirk, he looks phenomenal. And we definitely gonna see more of him just putting up.
Do a couple more of these real quick, yeah.
Drops back, steps in, perfect touch, in stride, and bro is gone.
It could have been like if anybody's gonna be real, if you're gonna be real picky about it, it could have been slightly better because the dude was in a way he didn't have to turn to catch it.
He waited,
but that's it.
He waited.
Yeah, he waited. It was a good anticipation either way, though.
Woo! Great way to get rid of that quick because they dialed that blitz up at the right time.
It was done in the water. That was a good read on that end too.
And then this probably gonna be the last
extra
one.
guy. He got beat. Both of these guys got beat.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get rid of that now.
God, they got beat.
You're gonna have to get rid of this quick, sir.
Tackle stood no chance. Neither one of these guys stood a chance.
Hey, sometimes it be like that.
Nice double move on the outside.
I was about to say that. Honestly, if that's a better corner, that's not working.
Oh, that was a better corner. If that wasn't a flat-footed corner, it's not working.
If that's a better corner.
He sat up flat. He waited for that to happen. But we gotta move on.
We gotta keep moving. I did want to show you one thing though, because I thought it was hilarious, and I think it's something to bring up. Because I'm like, oh no, this.
Yeah, but basically, back to my point in general, I feel like the lefty is gonna give Bryce a run for his money.
He will.
Come his real practices, and you start getting your spots back. Cause spring coming up, and don't forget y'all, the practice like a pro, April 12th, Keenan Memorial Field.
If y'all want to show up, it'll be a fun time
because it's an open practice.
I was going to show a video that I saw, and I can't find it right now. It'll pop up afterwards. I know it will.
Oh, yeah, you'll find it when it's open.
What happened was at one of the spring practices, to keep them like on their game for ball security, they were dipping the balls in super cold water and then giving them to the players and be like, hold on to it. Now, with that in mind, I'm sitting here thinking in the springtime, that's pissing me off for one reason. It's already cold in the morning. That ball, giving me that ball now is ice cold. I'm mad.
Ice cold.
And here's the bad part. As a receiver, I can't wear that with a glove on. So I know I have to take my glove off because if I put my gloves on that ball, whoop, 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 it's gone. So you got to rock it with your hand. So now I got my hand ice cold in 36-degree weather in spring training telling me, hey, yo, don't drop the ball. Coach, come on now.
Don't drop my ball.
Don't drop it. What was the worst? What do you think the worst drill to do in spring workouts is? I think this is one of the worst. Because to me, it's just annoying. It's not even the worst, like, it hurts my body. It's just annoying because my hands are going to constantly be freezing.
The worst one, in my opinion, was running sand pits with somebody on your back. That was the worst workout to me for spring practice, for any spring or off-season training period. Because I'm like, why I gotta carry you? Sand's already hard enough to run it as is. Why I gotta carry you?
Fair.
But no, with the ice cold football thing, I'll say this. Personally, I think it's genius.
It's smart.
I think everybody should implement
because it's annoying.
I think it should be something that should be implemented by everyone, because if you can't hold on to a cold ball, I'm not putting you in a game in rain, cold weather. I'm not putting you in because I can't trust you to hold on to the ball. I already know you can't in practice. So what makes you think you'll do it in a game?
No, it's 100% genius. And I see the vision. I see why they do it. I participated in it. But I just hate the idea of it, bro.
Listen, the whole practice, I'm gonna be pissed. Whole practice.
Hey, my hand's just looking like this because it's still holding the ball from yesterday.
Yeah,
I hate it, bro. I hate it, bro. But with all that being said and whatnot, they have announced the schedule for the year, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the schedule that we got. So, as y'all can see, want to talk about this. We have TCU is week 1 on September 1st. Then we got to go to Charlotte on September 6th. Then we got Richmond at home on the 13th. UCF, we got to go to UCF on the 20th. Then there's a bye week, the week of my birthday, actually. Like, we don't play on September 27th. So that's like the weekend of my birthday. So I'm kind of sad we don't play that weekend. But then we got Clemson on October 4th. That's honestly the heat check. We all know this. Clemson has been one of the top dog in the ACC for the last few years. So that's the heat check. See where we at, gauge how we're going in Bill's first year. Then you get another bye week after that. Then we got to fly all the way out to California. Don't know how they're in the ACC still, but that's neither here nor there.
I don't know why Stanford's there either.
Then
I told that to somebody else, and they said the same things. Like, Stanford's in the ACC. I'm like, yeah. They're like, why?
It makes no sense. We go to California. We get Virginia at home. Then we got to go to Syracuse on October 31st. Listen, spooky things happen on Halloween. I hate playing Halloween games because that's when, like, the craziest stuff happens, bro. Like, it's usually the best atmosphere, but spooky stuff happens on Halloween that should never happen. And afterwards, Stanford at home. We go to Wake Forest, Duke at home, and then we end the season at North Carolina State. And one thing y'all might have noticed, we don't have consecutive home or road games. Every game is 1-1. I think that is very unique in of itself. I've rarely seen a schedule do that. Have you? For a college schedule, have you ever seen a college schedule go 1-1 where each game is the opposite? Like, there's never like back-to-back home or back-to-back road games.
I normally see stretches of like you got 2 or 3 home games straight and then 2 or 3 like away games. Yeah, like they're normally grouped together in segments. Right. But now, like, going back, I'm cool with the back and forth though. I think that's a better schedule than most people will see.
Yeah, and I'm not too. It's just interesting. But like I said, when we look at it as a whole, again, the big benchmarks we all know, Clemson is going to be one of them. Honestly, I'd say Virginia, Duke, who finished 9-4, that's going to be a heat check as well. North Carolina State has always had a formidable football program. So
I
those
think
are some of the heat
the
checks
sleeper
that I
game. I
think.
think the sleeper game that people aren't thinking about the most is Wake. I think Wake Forest is going to be that game that people aren't going to think about the most, and that's going to be the roughest one they're going to have.
Yeah, you think that's gonna be the roughest one?
I wouldn't say roughest one, but it's going to be the most competitive. I think Wake Forest is going to be the most competitive game on this schedule. Like
I
outside of the obvious, Duke rivalry and the obvious NC State rivalry, I
I think
think
one of the ones
Wake Forest will come out
that
fighting.
you have to. I think one of the games that UNC has to be careful of, especially if they do great this year, they have to make sure they handle business in these early games, especially this UCF game.
Yeah,
Because if they do great, let's just play devil's advocate. They go like 11-2, 10-3, 9-4, right? But they have a bad loss or an unreasonable loss to UCF early in the season. Granted, you have time to make it up, but it's still gonna come back to bite you saying I lost to UCF.
if if it's a bad loss to either UCF, Cal, or Virginia, that's gonna throw a lot of momentum off because because Syracuse is gonna be a good game. Syracuse is gonna be tough because Syracuse has over the last few seasons has actually come out as one of the better teams in this division. Surprisingly
Yeah.
enough, like
Same.
nobody expected Syracuse to be as good as they are.
Same.
Stanford is up and down. Like they can be good once for one game in the season and then be terrible the rest
They
of it.
they
So
they
you
are
never know what
sporadic
they're going to
based
be.
off the whole season. One season they good, next season they trash. You
And it all depends on whether one guy is going off or not. If that guy's not going off, the team is down. Yeah, I don't know what it is about him. California, Cal, I don't get a chance to watch them enough to really have a good assessment on Kyle because y'all's games are at 10, 11 o'clock at night. I'm not watching your game. Like
listen.
before you came to the ACC, y'all's games were 10,
He's,
11, 12, 2, 3
he
in the
says
morning.
the only he said the only reason he was watching you was for Tavon Austin, Deshaun Jackson, and Marshawn Lynch back
Tavon
in the
Austin
day.
was West Virginia.
Damn, that is right. My bad. I was thinking of the same colors.
And I wasn't even watching Cal for Marshawn Lynch. I wasn't watching Cal at all because your games are too late at night. You were background noise at best.
But yeah, overall,
Like you were,
def-
if I needed some way to say I'm watching TV, that's what I was using you for. You weren't used for any legitimate football watching. I'm sorry. Unless you showed up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, I wasn't watching you.
oh man, but as we wrap this up, and my man, he's gonna have another chance to hop on his soapbox because y'all know what we do to end the show at all times. But first things first, want to give out Tar Heel birthdays. We missed this gentleman last week, but shout out to tight end Jake Johnson. His birthday was last week on April 1st. So shout out to him. There are no other birthdays. Let me give him a happy birthday, Jake. Hope you had a great birthday. None this week, but we got a few next week, so we're looking forward to those. But now is the time that y'all all look forward to, the time of the week that we all look forward to. And it is time for our Tar Heel takeaway of the week. So, I'm gonna give you your solos. I'm gonna give you your solo, sir. What is your Tar Heel takeaway of the week?
My Tar Heel take of the week is Bill Belichick's girlfriend is about to be rolling in blue faces. And if you don't see her with a new Fendi, Gucci, whatever big name brand bag, at least, and it's going to be a different color bag. It's going to be the same brand 15 times over. If she ain't got, why should come out with a Cartier, something like that? It's going to be some crazy stuff that no regular person is going to go out and buy. But she going to, Bill got the money for it. But no, that's not really my real takeaway for this. My real takeaway for this is, once again, I'm pretty sure I said it last week too. The recruiting classes that Bill is starting to put in, like from Jump Street, is honestly not. It's not even surprising because we know who Bill Belichick is as a coach, GM, all of that. But it is definitely starting to create a lot of positive buzz for North Carolina football, and I think if it keeps trending in this direction, we're gonna see a North Carolina football team that we ain't seen in some years.
Mm-hmm.
that we probably ain't seen since mid 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be very competitive. They're going to be a destination school for several years to come if this keeps trending the way that it's trending. If you keep getting 30 like top 50 recruiting classes every year, this is going to be a whole different football team. They're going to be real exciting to watch. So just be, y'all heard it. I said it first. I said it here. I know a lot of people have been saying it, but I said it here too. Just be prepared for it. It's going to happen.
Hey, all right with it. All right. So now you got my Tar Heel takeaway of the week, man. Stop thinking the basketball is just as physical as football or hockey. I'm sick of it. Stop it. No. I am if any of you think that basketball, NBA basketball, or anything, college basketball is as physical as college football, college hockey, the NFL, or the NHL, stop it. I'm sick of this. Get off of that. Come on now. They're not in the same realm. They're not in the same stratosphere. So let's cut that out. I ain't about to have y'all out here goofy like this. No. So that's my hot takeaway. That's my Tar Heel takeaway of the week, man. Like I'm sick of it. Can't do it. Also, Bill Belichick's girlfriend will be rolling in some dough, and if she ain't got no new Fendi, they will be broke up by September. Just saying that.
Sorry, he's gonna get a Prada. It's fine.
Prada is Prada.
Couture. Gucci Couture is what it's gonna be.
But guys, we are wrapping up this podcast here. It has been another North Carolina Tar Heels Live podcast. Y'all know the deal. Please make sure to always check us out Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Where is it? I know I just seen it. Where'd that banner go? Oh, well.
I got you.
You got it? There it is. Join us every... Damn. Yep. That's how
I'm good. No worries. I was doing this.
That's how we know.
I was doing this.
Oh, you were doing that?
Yeah, I was doing that.
Hey. Word. God dang it. I apologize.
Yeah, no. But join us live every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're gonna try to get you some good stuff every week. I hope this was enjoyable. I hope y'all learned some stuff. I hope y'all got excited about some of the new recruits that are coming in. I hope y'all are excited for the season coming in. I hope that we give you what you need, what you want, and what you enjoy.
And at the end of the day, guys, y'all know the deal. This is your one-stop shop for North Carolina notifications. And hey, make sure, like you said, like, share, subscribe, join the family, bro. We're building this for y'all. This is your home. This is just as much as our channel as it is your podcast. But what do we know? Especially, what do I know? I'm just
about to say, comment your concerns, comment your questions, comment what you ask. Tell us what you think. If it's up there, we'll definitely respond to the comments.
Tell us, did you buy the turf? Did you buy it? Who bought the turf, dog?
If you bought the turf, please, like, share, subscribe. We want to talk to you.
We want to find out. Some realness. If you bought the turf, we will bring you on this pod, bro. No ifs, ands, or buts. We need to know who bought it.
I need to know.
I find out. But
with that being said,
go Heels as always. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace. Much love to all y'all. Later days.